Hope you guys are having fun today. Also, long time no see. What is up, Finn fans, DouglieDoWrongers? I don't even know if that's the word I want to use. What is up? Hope you guys, it's New Year's Eve. Tomorrow, or if you're watching this tomorrow, it is 2025. Crazy. We're in the 2020. It's 2025. I was born in 1987. 2020. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. I wanted to come on here, wanted to make a New Year's video, kind of talk about New Year's resolutions that the Dolphins should take on in 2025, New Year's resolutions that I'm going to be taking on in 2025, kind of talk about 2024 and how all that went and, you know, get maybe a little mushy for you guys. But yeah, first off, let's get a little mushy and then we'll talk Miami Dolphins football. Crazy year 2024 for me. Broke 50,000 subs. We're right now currently at 50,533. I think we gained 5,200 subs this year. Over 4.5 million views. Just crazy. Like nuts. I'm not going to stop ever. I'm just going to keep doing this. This is too much fun. I love interacting with you guys so much. It's just a blast. I met a ton of you guys, whether I went to training camp, whether I went to the game. I worked with so many great people, worked with so many great football players, met the quarterback coach. So many great things happened in 2024. Hopefully a lot of great things happen for you in 2024 and going into 2025. Bigger and better things. I'm going to build off of this channel, and you know, I'm only gonna have this channel and I'm just gonna keep building it and try to make it as entertaining, fun, and crazy great for you guys and girls as I possibly can, so you will never leave me. Got real creepy there, Doug. But my New Year's resolutions, first and foremost, I'm gonna get back into shape. You guys see me do the push-ups during the live streams. Obviously, I struggle a little bit because I have one good shoulder, but I feel like I'm getting better at them. My New Year's resolution, my biggest one is I need to get healthy, not just for me, but for my daughter. So that's number one. Number two, which pertains to my business life and this channel, I'm going to stop giving people the time that don't deserve it. What does that mean? I'm going to stop trying to defend myself to people who just don't care, because I notice, and you guys say it in the comment section, and I appreciate it because, you know, a bunch of you really, you know, look after my mental health and me as a person when it comes to all that stuff. But you'll see, like, whether it's to haters, whether it's people who hate me, whether it's people who come after me, I always feel like I have to defend myself or try to say, like, that's not necessarily true and Like, I always feel like I have to do that. And I don't. I'm going to stop doing it. You know, I'm going to give people who deserve the recognition and the time and the conversation more of it. Because you guys leave some great comments. I read every single one of them and I love listening to them, and I need to stop feeling like I need to defend myself if people aren't going to listen. You know, I get called a lot of things. I've gotten threats. I've gotten emails. I've gotten this and that, just from my difference of opinion. And a lot of times they're wrong. Whether they say, I do things for clicks, I do things for money. I'm a Tua-neer. You only praise Tua, you never bash him, or you only bash Tua, you never praise him, or you're never critical of this team, or all these things that are just blatantly false. I feel like I have to defend myself and be like, that's not true, blah, blah, blah. Cause it's like, I don't want that misinformation being out there. I don't want people lying about me. I gotta take care of this. So it's like, who cares? Who cares? So I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to focus on the good. And that's the hardest thing about doing this stuff. And people have hit me up and been like, hey, I want to do this. You know, got any advice? And I always tell them, just ignore the hate, ignore it. And it's hard. It does take a toll on you, and it's hard to ignore it. So I'm going to start ignoring it, especially on Twitter. Twitter is a very toxic place. So I'm going to start ignoring it, and I'm going to start giving people the time that deserve it, and ignore people who are just trying to get a rise out of me or lying about me or all that stuff, because it's not worth my time. I think that and getting in shape are like my biggest New Year's resolutions. And obviously these aren't resolutions. These are just going to happen. I want to do bigger and better things for the channel. I'm going to try to get players on the channel. I'm going to try to interview certain people on the channel. I want to incorporate you guys on the channel a little bit more. I think I'm going to start doing live stream call-ins where you guys can, come on, ask me like a radio show, right? You're not going to be on the whole stream, but you'll pop in, ask me a question, pop off, I'll answer it, those types of situations. I'm going to incorporate you guys, especially the patrons and the members, a lot more. I have a lot planned for you guys. So, 2025 is going to be crazy for this channel. It's going to get bigger, better, and spectacular. So that's about me. Let's talk about the Dolphins. New Year's resolutions for the Dolphins. First and foremost, Chris Grier, and I don't mean this disrespectful or disrespectfully. I hope you don't take it that way. If you do watch this, I doubt you do. You got to grow a backbone, man. That's the New Year's resolution for that, man. You got to realize that things aren't working. You got to pull the plug. And you got to fire some people, man. You got to do it. And you know who I'm talking about, because a lot of people want to say, oh, he'll learn from his mistakes, give him one more year. It's been 6 of him being in charge by himself. If he hasn't learned from his mistakes after 5 years going now, this is his 6th, he's never going to. So like a New Year's resolution for the Dolphins, realize when to pull the plug. Don't go a year too late. If Mike McDaniel's still our head coach, or for however long, New Year's resolution for him, give up play calling and learn to adapt and learn to pull plugs on your projects, man. Julian Hill, Liam Eichenberg, Robert Jones, like you have stuck with so many players for some reason that just aren't good. Whether it's like, oh, well, we can't really afford to bring anyone else in, or, oh, it's not a problem because our offense is predicated on getting the ball out quick. If that's the way your offense is predicated on, my man, I'm telling you, when this time of the year comes, for the past 3 years in your offense, it falls apart because of the offensive line, because of the lack of run game. Another New Year's resolution, stick to the run game. Another New Year's resolution, build the team correctly. There's so many New Year's resolutions that we can go through with the Dolphins. It's like, first and foremost, we need a new GM. So that's why the Stephen Ross one is like first on my mind, is we need to bring in a guy who's going to look at the structure of this team, realize that there's a good, solid core of talent, and build around it and work with it. Now, is Mike McDaniel going to be here or not? I don't know. I already talked about him. He's got a lot to learn. Again, this is going into his 4th year, and he's still doing the same things that he did his rookie year. He's still a horrible time management. He doesn't make adjustments. He sticks with things that aren't working, whether it's screens, end arounds, these fancy little trickeration plays because they work against bad teams. My man, they're not going to work against good teams, and we've seen that happen. So those are those New Year resolutions. When it comes to the players, Tua, my man, slide. Take care of yourself, dude. Now, he's going to be on the team in 2025 because the Dolphins cannot move off from him. If they decide, screw it, we're just going to cut him, that's a $44 million cap hit, and the Dolphins will be negative $44 million in cap. You can't do anything with that. So Tua is going to be on the team in 2025. He needs to take care of himself. He needs to slide. All of his injuries are his own fault. If you look back to his college, where he's rolling out to his left when they're up by how many touchdowns, just throw the ball away. And he gets sacked and piled on, breaks his hip, gets concussion, like all these things happen. And then you look at the concussion against the Bengals. That was his fault. He should have thrown the ball away, decided to hold it for another extra 2-3 seconds, got whipped to the ground, concussion against the Green Bay Packers, decided he's going to run to his right, takes a hit, concussion against the Bills. Doesn't slide, goes head first, concussion. And now this last one doesn't decide to slide, goes head first, and now he's dealing with a hip injury. Got to take care of yourself, dude. Your team is depending on you. But not only that, your family's depending on you. And you got to take care of yourself. That's going to be Tua's New Year's resolution. 2025 is going to be an important year because after that, we can move on from him. You got to take care of yourself. You got to stay healthy. You did it in 2023. And was it because it was your contract year and was it because of, you put on the extra weight or whatever? No, whatever it was, you stayed healthy and you played and you had a fantastic year. You got to stick with it, man. That's his biggest New Year's resolution is stick with it, man. I want to say Jaylen Phillips stay healthy, but like these past 2 injuries are not his fault. I love Jaylen Phillips. He's my man. If I'm any type of stand, it's a Jaylen Phillips fan, and I feel horrible for him because the torn Achilles was not his fault. Like you players are injury prone, right? And injury prone players like to get hit and they're injured. Jaylen Phillips had a non-contact Achilles tear against the Jets because of their turf. Then he took a helmet to his knee from Jordan Poyer and hurt his knee. Like both of those things are not his fault. And it just sucks because he has such promise. And then him matched with Chop is going to be absolutely dangerous. I New Year's resolution for Chop is stop falling, but I think he's doing a really good job of that towards the second half of the season of staying up on his feet. Teron Armstead, it sucks to say this, but I think he needs to hang him up. But I think he knows that. I think that's why we saw him emotional against the Jets. It's because he saw his body is just like, I'm done. And I talked about this on Krantz's Corner. If you ever seen The Wrestler, where their body's telling them like you're done, but they have that the competitor in them. It's the same situation, and it just sucks. It really sucks. I'm trying to think of other people on this team that need New Year's resolutions football wise. Like Javon Hall, I don't know what happened to that man. He doesn't make it's like he's making a business decision or something with his tackling, because he used to shoot the gap and just make these great tackles. You saw his rookie year flip a tight end over, and now all of a sudden he's like afraid to tackle. I don't understand what's going on with him. Jordan Poyer, you need to retire. No offense to you. Hopefully you don't take any offense to this, but I think it's time. I think it's time to hang him up. But overall, this team just needs a change. So as a Miami Dolphin, the New Year's resolution is recognize the change and make it. That's to me what I would say is the biggest thing for this Miami Dolphins team, and what their 2025 New Year's resolution should be is recognize the change and make it. Liam Eichenberg, Robert Jones, Chris Greer, the style, who's the play caller, whether it's the head coach, recognize what needs to be changed and make it. Because you were in a situation where Buffalo lost games that they probably shouldn't have lost. They lost to teams like the Rams and some other teams that they shouldn't have lost, while they beat good teams like the Chiefs. They're only going to get worse because the Bills have no cap space again next year. I think they have like $9 million in cap space. They're in the same situation that the Miami Dolphins are in. So you'll probably see Josh Allen restructure his contract or whatever to clear cap space. But it's another situation where they got to take their window is now, for me, the window is closed. So you need to make the changes. You need to stick with the tide. You need to make the changes to stay with the AFC. And what sucks is if the Dolphins win on Sunday, it's another year, 5 years in a row, they've ended the season with a winning record, but it's equated to nothing. So obviously something is right, but we're off. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I talk about the core is there. And to me, what is off is building around that core. Recognize the changes, make the changes. Because we're right there. I honestly think we're right there. 5 straight years of a winning record. We're right there. Comment below. What are your New Year's resolutions? Very interested to see yours. Appreciate the crap out of every single one of you. Like I said, 50,000 subs. I'm hoping at this point next year we're at 100,000 subs. You all are amazing. I love the support. I love the emails. I love the positive stuff. I love you guys looking out for me. I try to look out for every single one of you. If you guys ever need anyone to talk to, my email is in the description. I always try to get back to you guys' emails. If I ever miss them, I do apologize. I will get to them eventually. But I've had people email me telling me anxiety stuff they're going through and all that stuff. And, I go through anxiety. I see a psychiatrist. I see all this stuff. So don't ever feel like, if you ever need someone to talk to and you don't feel like you have anyone, I'll do my best, but I'm just a guy. But, I appreciate the heck out of all you guys. I appreciate the heck out of everyone I've worked with, the sponsors, everyone. On to 2025. So I'll see you guys Thursday with the picks, Friday with the preview, Saturday with the injury updates. We might talk a little Tua because I don't think he's going to play. And then Sunday, Are we in the playoffs or not? But like usual, happy 2025. Stay classy. Fins up.